Hi, I've been giving history lectures on a Fred Olsen cruise ship this summer, and I'm in the Western Mediterranean, going from one city to another: Cadiz, Ceuta, Gibraltar, Lisbon, Porto. So let me give you a few snapshots of those amazing places. So here we go then, off on the high seas, and behind me there you can see the Rock of Gibraltar. It really is unmissable. Now, here we are on Gibraltar, and this is the start of the main high street. It's a kind of a mixture of Spain and England, but to be honest, more Spain than England. There I am walking down the high street, and then I took the cable car up to the top of the Rock of Gibraltar to get those commanding views. And I thoroughly recommend you go up there, where you will meet the local inhabitants, which of course are hundreds of these apes. Then go and visit St Michael's Caves, which is a beautiful geological formation. And there is this very unusual rock formation inside called the Angel of St Michael's Caves because of its seemingly outstretched wings. Absolutely stunning geological formation. So this is an English enclave on the coast of Spain. Now let's go to a Spanish enclave very close on the coast of Morocco. So we've just arrived in Ceuta, so let's investigate this town on the Moroccan coast owned by Spain. Now, this is a bit of Spain in Morocco. Always seems slightly unfair to me that the Spanish demand that England hand back Gibraltar when they own a bit of Morocco. But anyway, here I am walking down the main street in Ceuta, and there really is only one main street. Now, I've got to be honest, there's not a huge amount to see in Ceuta, but it's certainly a very attractive city. This is the main square. And then this is the fortress, the 16th century fortress, which is absolutely stunning and well worth walking round the battlements. There's a moat that surrounds it as well, with little boats that go around the moat. That's our ship, by the way, in the background. That's the Bolette, which we came into, and there's another view of it there. I'm obviously about to return on board, having spent a day in the glorious Spanish enclave of Ceuta. Now, the next stop on our journey was Cadiz on the south coast of Spain. So we basically crossed over back to Spain to this incredible city, very attractive city, and well worth a day visit or even an overnight stay. So this is the main square that you arrive in. These are some of the buildings there in that square facing the ship. And then it was time to go exploring. This is the cathedral in Cadiz. Now, I decided to go and ascend that bell tower that you can see there on the left. So this is me getting my little legs up there's no stairs. It's a ramp that leads all the way to the top. Now, if you have mobility issues or you don't feel that you're healthy enough, don't do the climb to the top of the bell tower because it does take quite a way, as you can see. And I was certainly huffing and puffing and out of breath, and I think I'm pretty healthy. I do lots of cardio on my elliptical machine at home, but nevertheless, it is a steep climb, and I pity the people that had to come up here to ring the bell at the top, and there are the bells. But it's such a beautiful view over the city of Cadiz, and there is Cadiz before us. And there's something quite magical about being at the top of the bell tower there on my own, looking out over the majestic city of Cadiz. And in a moment, you should be able to see the ship actually, which there it is, which I was able to view from the top of the bell tower very easily. Anyway, it was then off to go shopping in Cadiz. And there I am doing shopping, and I'm on my way to the museum, the National Museum in Cadiz. These are two kind of Phoenician, Egyptian style sarcophaguses, two famous exhibits in the museum, and a man and a woman, as you can clearly see, and they date to about 2,500 years ago. Then I thought I'd go to the market. I do love a fish market. So Cadiz is on the coast and it did not disappoint. There was fish plenty, shellfish, fish, every kind of fish. And this is where at lunchtime, the locals of Cadiz, I don't know, are they Cadizians, but this is where they go to enjoy some lunch, to have some of this stuff cooked up and put in a bun, basically. There's lovely squid there. I do love to eat some squid. So I went back at lunchtime, and this is when it really got packed and people were enjoying each other's company, having a glass of beer, having a glass of wine, and having a snack. So I negotiated my way along, watching them all scoffing their faces, having their racions or tapas, and basically taking their long siesta, because in this part of the world you take a 2-hour minimum lunch break. The shops close, most of the shops close. You will not get anybody back until about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Then it was off to Lisbon, the capital of Portugal. We rounded the end of the Iberian Peninsula, and I'm here looking at these beautiful trams on the streets of Lisbon. And I was off to the church of St. Vincent. And this is me on the roof of the church of St. Vincent, a beautiful 16th, 17th, 18th century church. I think it was originally run by the Jesuits. Don't hold me to that. But again, another church roof. I just can't stay away from church roofs. But you get this beautiful view over the city of Lisbon. And I think we can see the ship from there. Yep, there's the ship. There's the Ballet there in the distance, looking back at me. Closer up view of the ship there. There it is in the harbour. Yep, that's us leaving Lisbon with a big toot of the horn and going along the coastline there of Lisbon. So you can see the Pantheon, the very characteristic dome there in the background. That's where Portugal's national heroes are buried. And then we pass by the old city on our way out of Lisbon. It's a very nice trip out of the city when you're leaving Lisbon. Well worth standing on the deck, as these people are below me here, and just taking in the view as we wave goodbye to the capital of Portugal, a city I absolutely adore. There we are, heading off down the River Tagus and back out into the Atlantic. Now, as we go underneath the April the 25th bridge, one of the things that's really interesting is the sound that it makes. You can hear this kind of whistling sound. Let me see if you can hear it now. Maybe not. But apparently, even in the city, people can hear that distinctive noise. Now, it was originally called the Salazar Bridge after the dictator of Portugal from 1932 to 1970. But there was a revolution in 1974 which overthrew the far-right dictatorship, and it was renamed as the 25th of April Bridge. That, of course, being the day of the revolution. So there is our ship, the Ballet, passing underneath the 25th of April Bridge. One last look back at Lisbon. Goodbye, Lisbon, and I'll be back there again next year. I always have to go back to Lisbon. I do love it. It's such a great city. Now we're in Porto, the second city of Portugal, as if by magic. This is where my mother was born, by the way. I'm half Portuguese. I have a lot of affection towards the city, and that 2-span bridge there, built by Eiffel, of Eiffel Tower fame. You can walk along the top, you can walk along the bottom span as well. If you have vertigo, don't do either. And there is the cable car that takes you across the city. That's well worth the trip. And the city, as you can see, is on the banks of a gorge with the River Douro flowing through the city. So the buildings almost seem to stack up one on top of each other. And again, you're going to need tough calves and thighs, basically, to walk around the city. It is quite something to walk around because of all those hills. There's a closer view of the bridge, the Pont Dom Luige, as it's called. Some children jump off the bridge. Please don't encourage them by paying them. It's not safe. Now, this bookshop here is allegedly it inspired J.K. Rowling, though I believe she denies that, but there are huge queues. So that was the city of Porto, the second city of Portugal, where my mother was born, in fact. And it's our last stop on this Fred Olsen cruise. We're now heading back to Liverpool. So it's the evening and we are gradually pulling out of the port of Lisbon, which is the port next to the city of Porto. And it's back across the Atlantic, across the Bay of Biscay, and back to Liverpool. So goodbye, Portugal. There's the lighthouse in the distance. Goodbye, Portugal and Spain. I'll be back again next year.